And we're live.
Matt, no.
Hello, everyone. It's Thursday, so this is Trucker's Delight Live Review. And tonight we're talking Section 31.
31.
31, not 28, not 29, not 30 like me. 31, which is what I will be.
Don't rush it.
Oh, wow. Right.
Seriously,
50 is right around the corner.
30 there.
Right around the
50
corner.
is right around the corner, bro.
All right. Are we ready, guys?
Yep.
Yup.
Let's roll it.
Every other vote.
And you gotta admit, the dude that was coming down the aisle, he was kind of cute. I'd have carried him on my shoulder.
Here we are. Welcome once again to Trucker's Delight.
Like, literally, my mic falls down just as we go live. Hi, everybody.
Who you gonna be?
The captain of the Enterprise Z.
Love that baseball and the teacup, like clearly TNG DS9 fans. So.
Man, that we see power rates at some point in this season.
What is going on?
The power has shit to do with the fall race.
No, everybody, this is actually one of the main screenwriters for Prodigy, so we are super excited to hear from you. And
No one
also,
listen.
I'm a little embarrassed for being as critical.
Man, I really love that intro.
Keith, I cannot stand you. I cannot stand you.
Oh, is that what he was doing? I was like, what is
Yes,
going
he
on? But
does
that
it
is.
every time now, and he knows he's gonna do it until I change it. That's what they. Oh my god! Like
That's because you have him as guest host instead of host.
Yo,
No.
No, I know what it is. And I didn't even hear it that time because of that. I didn't even hear it.
Bruh,
Didn't even
as
hear
soon as
it.
I heard the coughing, I said I knew that because I was telling Evan, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, and you just started coughing right now. I'm like, oh my god, this is wow. All right. Anyway, shit, y'all, what did we just watch? What happened?
I have to say that I really do like images of like black hole. I know it wasn't a real image, but like of black holes. I think they're really fucking cool. It's at the beginning of the video, if you don't remember.
I used a black hole.
Yeah, you
I
just
thought
saw
that
it.
was like Jupiter.
No.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll move on.
No. I did use a black hole. I remember now. It was like the baseball and everything. Okay. I remember now.
So I'm Keith F. Shovlin. Joining me as always is William Wofford and of course Jason McCammon. And William has a guest, has a friend.
There's a guy. William has a guy.
My name's Evan.
Evan, what's happening? Is Evan a Star Trek fan?
Just want to put my input in. I like the movie.
He is today.
Yes, we got a fresh. I would say not that far behind Max. Max is definitely a few seasons, but Evan's definitely new Trek. And what would you consider yourself to be after watching Section 31? Like, would you consider like a new Trekkie or a movie watcher?
I don't think that we would consider him a Trekkie for watching Section 31. Let's just put that out there.
He's seen other Trek before.
Okay, well that that would have to be laid out. Not say you just said after watching Section 31. That's what I'm saying.
Right. After watching Section 31 and other shows and movies before.
I would consider myself just a baseline fan.
Baseline fan.
I'm nothing too spectacular. I really do like the movies though. I really do like watching.
Most of the movies are pretty good. There's a few that
most of them,
we will say are not.
Yeah, hopefully Section 31 is nobody's intro to Star Trek because it is not.
It is
not. And I think it's easy to say without actually criticizing the movie to say that no, this is not a good intro.
I'm pretty like Will. You said you gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and I have
my reasons.
issues with that.
I have reasons.
So
That's like if the Ewoks are your intro to the Star Wars universe. That's
right.
No.
Like I said, I have reasons, but I will get into the reasons after the summary. Like, which is
After the
actually
summer?
it's not a
Summary.
hard summary.
Oh, I thought you said summer. I'm like,
The recap.
The recap, yes, thank you. After the recap, like
Wow.
the recap is very simple. They just put in a bunch of extra stuff in between. Like,
Oh, that's what stories are.
Okay.
but-
So just to get us through the recap so we can actually start talking about this hot mess of a TV movie.
hot mess.
All right, so Section 31, the TV movie, The Long Trek, as we've been waiting now a while, was released last Friday night, January 24th on Paramount Plus here in the United States and various other places around the world to universal disclaim. So it starts off with back in the Terran universe, we find out the sort of Hunger Games like play and how Georgiou took power in the Terran universe, from the Terran Empire, and that it was down between her and one other, and that
San?
San, and they were lovers, and they conspired together to survive, but because only one could rule, they have said the final test. Georgiou passed, so she becomes empress or emperor, and San becomes forever her slave. Flash ahead to Control, which we thought was destroyed at the end of Discovery Season 2, giving orders with a very familiar voice to track down Georgiou on Baran, which was also the name of Gabriel Lorca's ship in Discovery, before the Discovery. But the space station Baran, outside of Federation space, across a treaty line that would be an act of war for a member of Starfleet to go. So of course they send a member of Starfleet with four or five members of Section 31. All right, but I'm getting into criticism a little bit early there. Okay, so you have the bar where it's under the control of Georgiou under a nom de plume. Well, no, that would be under an assumed identity, and she instantly makes the Section 31 team is at her bar. What's wrong, William? Nothing? Oh, you're raising your hand. I thought you have a question.
I didn't have a question.
Well, your mic's
I
not on.
was looking at the lighting. I'm sorry. I did not have
Okay.
a question. I'm sorry. Disregard. I'm sorry.
Okay, just all right. So pay no attention to that corner of the screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, your mic's not even on.
And Evans isn't on either. So okay, getting back to the recap. So it turns out that there's a weapons designer that is coming to the station to sell this ultimate weapon, and they want Georgiou. They were planning to take over for Georgiou and then steal the weapon. A bioweapons designer named Dada No. So, but because she figured out who they were immediately, she overrules the group and comes up with her own plan, in which she would have these phase devices that she herself would place one on the weapon and somehow not set the weapon off, and be able to get it away from Dada No, and hopefully then keep it from falling into whoever's hands that are threatening all life itself.
The Man in Black.
Yes. So we have the team, Quasi, a Cameloid, Delton named Mel, a Vulcan, but not really a Vulcan. He's a Nanking in a Vulcan suit.
They was called a Nanakin, right?
Nankin, yes. Zeph, a human in a mech suit. Lieutenant Garrett from Starfleet, because they just said Starfleet can't cross the line, but yeah, there to observe, and then all under the command of I'm lost his name here, but this is the Alpha team. Alok, yes, Alok, and this is the Alpha team from Section 31. So hijinks ensue as someone else happens to show up with the same sort of phase device to try to take the weapon away. They chase through the station and get away from Georgiou.
With the same phase variance frequency.
Yes. It's
Oddly
almost
enough.
the same exact device, yes. So they take Darano back to their ship to interrogate him. Let's see, I'm following along with the Memory Alpha recap because there was a lot that was going on.
For some reason, they crash land on the planet.
Oh yeah, so then Georgiou is knocked out, and they go to a planet where they can interrogate her and interrogate Darano. And it's a dead planet that they have a tunnel system that they can hide in. And they find out what the weapon is. It is the Godsend, which was a weapon that she had built in the Terran Empire to fight back against the rebellion, the Gabriel Lorca rebellion we saw in, that was the end of season 1 of Discovery, and then shown again in the 2-parter Terra Firma in season 3 of Discovery. And then it finds out that the Godsend, this is that exact weapon, as Darano is actually Darano of the Imperial Science Council in the Terran Empire, and that he is snuck over because there is a gateway open between the two universes in a nebula, and that he was actually planning to sell the Godsend back to the Terran Empire for them to use it to conquer the Federation. So as they're doing this, the ship is attacked, Darano is killed, and it's obvious that there is a mole within the organization. Their ship is destroyed, so they're stuck on this dead planet. There is a communications array that doesn't work, and there's a crash ship off in the distance, so half the team goes to fix the crash ship, and half the team stays to fix the communications array.
It's a garbage ship.
Yes, it's a garbage trowel, yes. They can't launch the garbage trowel because its power source is missing. They can't use the communications array because it's
something's missing.
It's theta something is missing. And then suddenly, while they're looking around to try to find these missing things, the communications array powers up and sends out a message. And then the two of the three go back. Zeph, the mech guy, has gone missing, and so that leaves Sahar and Garrett to go back to the thing and find that the thing that was missing, the theta scanner, whatever, is back, but now it's been destroyed in the array, so they cannot use it. But they're able to get. So now that is calling whoever is the person that was to steal the Godsend. Hold on.
Well, we think that we know there's a mole. We think Mech's the mole, and then we think Garrett's the mole, and then we find out Fuzz is the mole.
Yeah, Fuzz is the Nankin in the Vulcan suit, and yeah, he took control of Zeph's mech body and used that to send the message to. And it turns out that the buyer is actually San, Georgiou's long thought dead slave. He had killed himself. He appeared to kill himself after having delivered the Godsend to Georgiou in the Terran Empire. But now he's back. And hold on, I think this is the point in the movie where I fell asleep.
No.
And that could just be because I'm mentally and physically exhausted the past 11 days.
Georgiou kills the body of Fuzz, but he actually gets transported away mysteriously to a ship, and then they're battled. Then they have San's ship and the garbage ship are now at the battle, and the nebula. And they're trying to get the device, and they don't have any freaking weapons. All they have is garbage throwers and tractor beams. So they grab the ship and Starfleet Garrett goes to the dumpster to find a baby with a battery, a baby's toy with a battery that's gonna blow up. I mean, with a power source that can blow up. I mean, it's just kind of a little. I'm laughing in my head while I'm actually telling it. Anyway, I'm sorry, Keith.
Yeah, you're doing. It's fine because for some reason I'm forgetting this bit here.
Yeah. So okay. So it goes that. So Georgiou beams over with a lock over to San's ship, and then there's a fight between Georgiou and San, and this fight between Alok and Fuzz, who's in his faux Vulcan body, but then he leaves the body on autopilot to finish fighting Alok, which stabs him, and then he gets away. And in order to get him, Garrett finds a toy with a battery source. Apparently, this is banned by Starfleet, and because it's probably been blowing up kids across the fucking galaxy because its battery source is just pretty bad. So she puts the toy on overload, ejects it out of the ship towards Fuzz's ship, and then blows him up. We don't know if Fuzz doesn't die apparently because he's so minuscule, small. Then so they get control of the device, of the weapon, and they send that to the Rift. That's the gateway between our world and the Terran universe that periodically opens for some reason. And
well, it was a collision of two ion storms that caused the opening. And an ion storm is how we had the very going back to Mirror, the COS episode. That's how we got the very first crossover. So
anyway, they blow it up and seal the rift, I guess. Seal the gate, seal the door. And apparently everybody wins except for San, who gets killed. And then Garrett gets promoted.
Yep. But they're all back at the Bahan. Mel was killed, of course, earlier when they were fighting the San after he stole the godsend. Sahara is healed from his things. Fuzz is gone, but his wife, in a similar in an identical Vulcan suit, is now here to be part of the crew. And of course, Zeph is gone as well. But now they get their message from Control, and Control appears on hologram to say that there's many more things to come, and we meet the actress playing Control, and that's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. And then
who was all co-Oscar winner because she won Best Supporting Actress for Everything Everywhere at Once, and while the same night Michelle Yeoh won Best Actress for that movie.
I never finished watching that movie. I saw like 3/4 of it.
It's really good. But yeah, she got Best Supporting Actress, Yeoh got Best Actress, and Hugh Kwan got Best Supporting Actor for that movie. So it did very well at the Oscars that year.
You call him Dr. Jones.
But what's funny is her winning the Oscar is why this is a TV movie and not a television series, because she was signed to do a television series.
Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know, Will Wofford 5 out of 5 over there. I think this movie was a hot mess. I think it was one of the most poorly written Star Treks that they have done almost ever. And I say that
the more I think about it, the more I when it was over, I was just like, well, that certainly was a thing.
That happened. It happened.
That was a movie. It was a movie.
Like
it was a Hallmark Star Trek film.
No.
First
Hallmark
of all,
Star Trek film is predictable.
This was extremely predictable. But there was no, like, first of all, there was no mission that was a Section 31 mission. Like, you have Section 31 because I would say usually you want to do something like break the prime directive or do something non-Starfleet-ish or something. But there's nothing they did that the Enterprise couldn't have just jumped in and done.
because it was behind, it was across the treaty line that it would have caused a war if a Starfleet ship went over.
Oh, I guess that was it. It was across the treaty line.
This is Black Ops because it's behind enemy lines.
That's how they're selling it. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I do note that this is the only Star Trek anything that does not include a single person in a Starfleet uniform or a single Starfleet ship.
I was going to say,
yes.
I don't remember.
The ship, first of all, Star Trek is known for its ships, right?
Yes.
Every Star Trek anything is about this character of a ship. It's like the Millennium Falcon in Star Wars. It's about the ship sometimes.
Every Star Trek movie we've ever had was centered around some.
I can't hear you, Will. Turn it up.
I said every single Star Trek movie that we've ever had was centered around some version of the Enterprise.
Yeah, the movies, yes, but not all the TV shows.
Well, of course,
not other ships,
right? I mean, yeah.
Well, that's obvious.
Well, you're still really low. I love your voice.
Yeah, you need a little bit of pickup there.
How about now?
But this one, that's better. This one had
a garbage Max commented as well.
I don't know if they're going to continue with another movie, but this one they had a garbage ship the whole time.
Well, not the whole time. They had to repair the garbage ship to get it going.
You called it. You called it.
But when they did the ship to trace the Star Trek logo, the Delta at the beginning, it was the garbage scow.
It was the garbage ship.
It was.
Now it did end with the portent that there is more to come, that could be more adventures.
Yeah. So,
I thought that it was just really, most of it was lazy writing. I thought it was pretty trope. I thought the dialogue was superficial and just sort of like slap in your face. We're gonna get this emotion out, or we're gonna. I didn't find the dialogue too compelling for most of the characters.
But my overall thinking of this movie is that it had some good ideas, but overall, well, long term, it's probably not. Well, it's been pretty good for secret agents to have a garbage scow as their thing, but no, my thing about it was thinking over the things that bothered me. It just seems like they had some good ideas, and it's just half baked. They did not take the necessary steps to make it all work.
Right.
Like you have this great devices that allow you to phase, and you can run through walls.
That was cool.
But you still can stand on the floor.
Right. Okay. Well, that's one thing. So part of me is like, just let that go, Jason, because
because you could just fall straight through. But how would you define gravity then, right? Like what do you fall into, right? Like if
gravity
you fall straight through the floor.
Well, you wouldn't have to fall. You just wouldn't. But you wouldn't be able to run on it. You wouldn't have to fall, but you wouldn't be able to run on it.
I mean, that's the same thing that we had with the next phase in TNG season 5 when you had Ro and Geordi and two Romulan officers
they were
go out of phase
and they could still walk everywhere like ghosts. Right?
Yeah,
but they're still on the floor. Yeah. Like the floor was like this
they
weapon
did fall through the floor sometimes. Like if they fell over, they went through the floor, but they were walking.
The only realistic out of phase situation was Chakotay in Voyager when he was out of his body and he could go anywhere around the ship.
Well, yeah, but he wasn't. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
and it wasn't limited to the floors. Like,
right,
if I recall.
So it's just the idea of you can run through walls, but you don't fall through the floors. So it's like
this weapon this weapon goes out of phase and falls out of his hand and just hits the floor and it goes dink, and it's like, why is it hitting the floor? But also, how is this person having the same phase variance that she has, the man in black?
Yeah, how does that person know? I mean, okay,
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just say yes. Let's say that he wanted to like make this grandiose entrance in front of her. Haha, I'm on your station. This is my revenge, whatever. How did you know to have the same phase variance as her? Like,
are we meant to imply that she got the phase variance devices from him?
From him?
Right. Or just that that was, 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 that was the same device she used in the mirror universe, which means he would have the same ones.
But it was.
But they didn't establish that.
Yeah.
That this is the ones that she used to use all the time, and she carries them. They didn't establish that.
She said it was a gift from someone. Yeah.
She said it was a gift. Now she may have tweaked it. Like, I'm sure. Like, who wouldn't, right? I mean, after you get a new toy, you get it to the face variants of your choice. But
and just the whole idea that he was purposefully, and yes, he had the mole, so that's how he knew to be there to stop them from taking the thing from Dada No.
Right.
But he seemed San wanted to rub it in Georgiou's face.
Right.
This whole thing. So why does he show up wearing a helmet?
But why does he show up at all? Was he going? Wait, he was going to buy it from Dada No.
Just avoided that station altogether, taking the thing and then just take it to the nebula, and they would have done it, and no one would have even known.
But wait a minute. Well, this is what I don't understand. Dada No was going to sell it to him anyway, right?
Yes.
But on that station.
So, right. But so why does he just show up to take the thing through the wall? Like, why does he come running through the wall?
I think he was waiting. I think he was waiting right there.
And then once he got the device, he had the device. Why did he then go to the passageway?
Maybe it was like the same tactic that the Empress used, right? Like, because they did come from the same universe. So maybe in his head, he was going to do the exact same thing. Maybe they're alluding to that, right?
Yeah. Well, just the idea that he had the device. If they still would have had the device and he was trying to find them, that would have made more sense than the fact that he had the device.
Too, right?
Yeah.
And everything that happened on the planet was pointless.
Blasted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the whole mole thing. First of all, you can't have a dead planet and still be able to breathe on it. You have to have some type of plant to have oxygen.
I mean,
anyway,
that's not too hard to believe. I mean, it's just lacking in vegetation and things, but
that's where we get oxygen from.
Yeah.
I thought that so
okay.
I was looking at it as more of like an action movie or a spy movie, more than I thought of it as a Star Trek.
You gotta get closer to the mic, bro.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. So I was thinking of it more as like an action movie more than I thought of it as a Star Trek movie. Mostly because everyone was like, "Oh, this is a horrible movie," so I wasn't really taking it too seriously. But what I was thinking that since like that was like a whole what I thought originally was them being able to phase the same way was supposed to be a hint to them knowing each other.
I mean,
yeah,
right.
It could be interpreted that way. It could be, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
Okay, you wouldn't know how to do it at this frequency if you wasn't from the same place that I was from.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me that it was, but since it was a device and not like an actual like ability, if it was framed, it would have been better if it was framed as an ability that she can do or ability that someone can do instead of just a device on her hip. If it was like, oh, I can do this, and then this person comes and doing the exact same thing. Oh, I know you.
Yeah.
But no.
Right.
Especially since she looked at it. They had the one point where like it zoomed in close, and she looked at hers, and then she looked at his, and
and then hers malfunctioned for no reason. Like, did they show it getting hit or something? Like, that would have made sense.
And her foot got stuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Foot got stuck, and then like it didn't. The wall didn't fuse inside of her. I mean, I really think the wall would have became her foot at that point, but
that's what I was scared of. I was like,
right
for a metal foot frame one.
Well, I mean, because it's like they could have done like y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Okay, they could have done like the scary shit. Like, what would have happened if you would have dephased into a wall? Like, I was scared
like when
I saw her foot. I was like, yo, because that brings it back to the. I mean, it was a TNG thing, but you know,
TNG
the worst
episode, yes,
the worst possible TNG death ever was the woman who sunk into the floor. Like, it was the scariest thing. She sunk into the floor.
Like she phased in with the floor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she died.
Yeah, and was just left sitting there. Yeah.
That's my chest. Oh,
she probably had a kid in daycare somewhere too.
Yeah, Max said boost up a little bit too. So.
Yeah, now we got this wonderful Echo.
Oh no. Okay.
I thought the Nanakins were actually kind of like and I kind of like the idea of them, even though we've never had them in Star Trek before. But the fact that they
sure about that?
I am not sure about it, Keith. If you wanna,
I see this. I feel like this is a strong connection to season 3, episode 1 of Next Generation Evolution, where there was the nanite race that Wesley was studying, but got loose and started wreaking havoc across the ship.
Oh yeah, but those are more just computer mechs. Those are both just automatons, right? Or just those are more. They weren't actual fleshy beings.
Yeah.
With thoughts.
I can tell you right now, Jermaine said he hated it.
That Section 31?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and Jermaine is the Section 31 man. He was like, we gotta do shows on Section 31. I love Section 31. So yeah. Well, where is he? Show his face. I don't want to hear his rumors. Show your face, Will. Not Will. What's his name?
I'm gonna say right here.
the fuck? Show your face, Jermaine. I don't want to hear secondhand. I don't want to hear secondhand shit from him.
Be nice. Yeah, you see, I can hear myself, so I know you can hear me.
We miss you, Jermaine.
We miss you, Jermaine. Please,
we miss you.
Please, this is that moment. This is that time. Like, no, because it was very bad. But to Max's point that he just made, I don't remember a face shot or anything hitting her device. So why would it go off?
They could have at least had him swing a weapon and hit it and had it go like sizzle or something. Like, oh, it's damaged. Let's see what's gonna happen now. Foot in the wall. That would have made sense.
Yeah. The only point was for to have her suddenly get stuck, so she fell over and dropped the device so he could come and pick it up.
I mean, she couldn't lose the fight for some reason. She could have just lost it.
Right.
You know, that would have made sense. People could be beaten. Also, I mean, we were talking about the Nanakin people. Why would you impersonate a first of all, he was the most annoying character of the show.
Yes.
Why would you impersonate a Vulcan only to not be like, if you're supposed to be like a secret ops person, you don't want to be noticed. You're gonna be noticed as a Vulcan acting like a fucking ham. Like there's no reason for him to be a Vulcan.
Why couldn't he been Romulan? Yeah, exactly.
He could have been anything else but Vulcan, not acting Vulcan, because you're gonna stand out no matter where you go and be like, oh, that Vulcan's crazy.
Yeah.
He could have been high.
But that's okay. I thought originally when they were introducing him, it was like, oh, he had one too many, stuff like that. I was like, he's microscopic, but he can be inebriated through a
it just takes less. I guess it just takes less.
I thought he was like another stray follower of Cybok or something like that.
See, that would have made sense. That would work.
It would have made more sense. Also, real quick, watching like the first 15 minutes of the movie, I think we can determine the timeline of where this takes place.
Oh, we know exactly.
It's right after Final Frontier.
Yeah,
it's later than that.
It's much later, right?
Yes.
So before
but they give us a star date, and people use the star date numbering system from TOS and the TOS movies, and they put it at 2324. So that would be 25 years after the opening of Generations.
That's
30
right,
years.
the opening of,
Or actually, no, that was 2390. No, 2298. Yeah. So
wait,
yeah.
Were star dates accurate in TOS? I thought they didn't get accurate to
not when matching with the rest of Star Trek. It's not, but
no, TOS, they were all over the place, but they did create a system by the movies, and
by the movies it did. Okay,
and so people were able to figure out that this was 2324. So this is 20 years before the Enterprise C is destroyed at Narendra 3. Okay. So that's Captain Rachel Garrett being killed in that.
It would have been great if they found some way for Cybok to survive, and then he became a part of Section 31.
That would have worked, yeah.
That would have worked just to have him on there. I think because I felt like we were watching Star Trek, but you had actually no idea you were watching Star Trek, aside from throwing things. Like they made dude a eugenics project, a lock. He exhibited no abilities whatsoever. Like he did. I don't even know why they mentioned.
I thought he punched someone across the room like Captain America.
Yeah, he did. Okay. He did have one big punch, but
one punch. But other than that, if they didn't even put that in there, it wouldn't have changed the story whatsoever. Like,
well, and plus the fact is, the key thing about the genetic super soldiers of the original augments is they were genetically changed before birth, so they were genetically created Supermen. It wasn't that people were taken and genetically altered.
Well,
that's a farther level tech than they had.
But I'm saying that he didn't exhibit any super soldier type of abilities.
I know, but he said that he was taken by one of them and he was changed genetically, which shows a level of tech beyond what we do of the era. So it's like someone had the idea but didn't think it through.
You're right. I just feel like they presented it, but they didn't show it. So if they have never said anything about it, it wouldn't have changed anything throughout the show.
There is one thing that I did take issue with, other than that, was his backstory. It didn't really line up with either history of the timeline. It didn't line up.
He must have been cold for a while.
At what point did the augments take over Earth all the way?
Right.
That's
because
like
we now have established, with thanks to Strange New Worlds, that has been pushed back because of the time travel shenanigans.
Right.
That we've had, we've seen.
And in either, there's a 10 to 20 year difference for World War III as to when it happened, from the 90s to the 2020s, but or whenever it happens in the Strange New Worlds, whenever they say. But I don't recall in either timeline that the augments successfully took over Earth, because he said they took over my home and they took over my planet. And I was like, what planet?
No. Maybe he had fled to a planet, and then
no. That's the thing. That's the thing, because humans did not leave not the system, or even leave Earth until 2063. That is still a thing. That's a non-changing point.
Yeah, we did not yet have a colony on Mars.
Titan didn't exist yet. There was New Berlin on the moon, wasn't there. Like none of this was there. So what planet?
Yeah, because as it was originally established in Spacey back in TOS, they had that they controlled 1/4 of the planet, not the whole planet.
Not the whole planet. I can see if he would have left it as they took over my home, then they probably invaded a certain point of the planet and he had to go. But the planet?
Or better off, delete the whole backstory. It was just completely superfluous and unnecessary.
Yeah.
Like either they wrote that way or he forgot his line and he just threw it in there. Like,
I just think it wasn't very well thought out. I just think it was like, we're going to put some action scenes in here. Like the whole mole thing didn't even really work. It was just kind of like
it was obvious from the beginning who the mole was going to be.
Right.
Once you knew that Fuzz could control the augmentations, the cybernetics, then you knew he was going to take control of Zed.
Oh my God, he is such a terrible character. Like I didn't like anything about that character. I mean.
Even before that, where like it was like okay, we get the idea that he's able to control cybernetics, or is able to infiltrate certain things. If you wanted to make it this grand mystery of, oh, I wonder who the mole is. The mole could be anybody. Why I'm not sure if it was. I think it was as soon as they mentioned the word mole, it pans directly to the mole. Directly to the mole, and I'm like, is it? At first I thought, okay, there's no way niggas are like this. I'm sorry, can I say niggas? No. My fault, my apologies.
What? Okay, I'll sharpen on your ass.
My fault.
I'm just gonna fade into the darkness.
Keith said, ain't no niggas over here.
Oh God! Oh, Jermaine, where are you?
But in all seriousness, if you wanted to be like, oh, who's the mole? Who's the mole? Why are you pinning it directly to the mole? And I was thinking, okay, maybe people aren't this stupid. Maybe it's a red herring. I should have known better.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it turned out, when it looked like it was Zeph, I'm like, oh, okay, but no, yeah.
And even when and that's what was really blowing me, because even when they were like, oh, it's Zeph, whenever we're still talking about a traitor, you're still panning it over to him. What are we doing?
Right.
Yeah.
So also, what was the main goal? Let's discuss what was the main goal of the antagonist in the story. He wanted to get the weapon to blow up
the Federation,
but to blow it up,
No,
but to destroy everything. Because I thought
it was to what's it called? Because the godsend, it like destroys star systems and whatnot, right?
It on a massive scale. It takes over.
So
not hearing you, Wofford.
Okay,
not hearing you, Wofford.
So basically, it destroys star systems at a very fast rate. So while Starfleet is taking care of that, we're trying to figure out a way to prevent that. The Armada swoops in, sweeps the Federation's legs from under them, and then conquers them. That was the whole plan.
Right. Yeah, but how was the plan to destroy all the Federation star systems if you want to come over and pillage?
So here's the thing, not necessarily. Okay, you can go about this two ways that I can think about. One, you can threaten to use it, which the Federation probably wouldn't answer to, knowing the Federation. So what they're going to do is they're going to blow up a whole other star system while Starfleet tries to take care and spreads itself thin to try and send an armada that way. And then, like Evan said, they send a fleet right under it directly to Earth. And mind you, they're just a bunch of versions of us on this side, so they'll get through a lot of checkpoints and a lot of bioscans very easily, very infiltratable. Because you got to think about it. Do you know how much hell it was just for almost 100 years later, about 120 years later ish, how it strained Starfleet to try and save Romulus, and they couldn't? Like,
first of all, I have a whole problem with that issue, but whatever.
Right. Well, so that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When they divert
stars, just don't die all the stuff. They would have known that for hundreds of years.
The point is Starfleet cannot pay attention to multiple things at a time.
Yeah.
Okay. They can't.
So was his motivation about taking over the Prime universe, or was it about being against Georgiou?
No, he was trying to be Vader, and it didn't work.
Yeah,
Georgiou just happened to happen.
Go ahead, Keith. Right?
Well, yeah. The Godsend was supposed to be able to, like a virus, destroy whole planets, and she said it could destroy an entire quadrant. And pretty much, it was the Doomsday device.
Right.
Who has seen Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
Long time ago.
Okay. Will, have you seen Dr. Strangelove?
Will is Dr. Strangelove.
All right, great old comedy about the world almost nuclear possibility of nuclear war. Peter Sellers and George C. Scott. It's hilarious, but in it, the Russians learned that they can't keep up with America's military power, so they build a doomsday weapon that is a system of if a bomb drops anywhere in Russia, all of Russia's nukes get fired and destroy everything else. But the whole point of having that device is telling everybody that they have this device, and it's actually relatively cheap to set up versus all the other military might they need. And before Russia can make this announcement, you had a military commander go crazy and send bombers to bomb Russia. And yeah, it's comedy, but it's got no seriousness. In fact, and the bomber that we actually see, it's James Earl Jones in one of his first acting roles. Yeah, if the idea of using this as a threat, that they would use it unless, I don't know, if you wanted to pillage, you wouldn't want to destroy everything.
Right. Right. Because here's the thing. But at that point, we may know the severity of the mirror universe. But from their perspective, they only ran across it twice. Once unofficially because they had to erase everything about Discovery.
Yeah.
Like, and then the other one with Kirk, which was an accident.
Yeah.
So they don't really know much about the Terran Empire. So it's just like this dude. And here's the thing: I don't even think, to Mac's point, I don't even think the Terrans themselves knew. I don't even think they knew. I think he was just hoping how in God's name this device even got to our Prime universe. I think the dude was just hoping. I think San was just hoping to sell it to them and then become emperor. Like pirate style, like how they usually do, right?
Well, no, I mean, no. You have to think. Remember, In a Mirror Darkly, the two-parter from Enterprise, where Hoshi takes command of the Defiant and then declares herself Empress because she has the superior technology.
Right.
You have to think San was going to take this device and then use it to take command of the Terrans, and then use it, then attack the Federation.
So Wumbo says, I think the goal was to allow the Terran Empire to come and invade, but even that was very spelled out.
We're led to believe that they did know what San's plan was, that they had an armada lining up to come through the passageway.
I thought,
and then the thing blew up. I mean, they never stopped it from happening. It blew up. So it
blew up and conveniently closed the gateway.
So why didn't it destroy star systems? Or because it looked like it was on our side of the rift, right? It didn't look like it went through and then destroyed.
And that's another thing.
The other people
clearly on the third or fourth level, because there was like 5 levels, right? On the third or fourth level, it needed her DNA just to turn the damn thing on. So what was it gonna do? Like,
yes, you're right.
What was it gonna do?
It shouldn't have blown up.
If she said it throughout the entire film, like, only I can stop this. Yeah, and that means you're the only one that can turn it on. Like, it's just apparently because it said DNA scan confirmed, and then it just went to level 4. Like, I was just like, wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me this entire time you could have just not, and nothing would have happened?
Nothing would have happened.
Nothing would have happened?
You just not touched it. You just left it there.
Don't touch it.
Right.
Just don't touch it. Which, and I get one could say that they could.
You cut out. What? Rewind. 10 seconds.
What you said? What?
You keep cutting out. We can't hear you.
Oh, that's weird. How about now? Yeah.
Who's buying your equipment?
Shush. I said they could have just put it on the station, right? So they can force the DNA from her, so that way they could use it. But it seemed like petty to, like, at the very end, to find out this way that her DNA was needed the entire time. They made no mention of it throughout the whole film.
See, now that makes sense as to why San didn't just go straight to the damn passageway and use it to bring in the Terrans, because all this time they're dicking around on the dead planet, he could have just gone and done it.
Hey, Wumbo says this movie is dumb.
Okay, so I thought that his main motivation was I thought that the main motivation for San was, was him trying to prove that he was better than Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
That he can take her place, and that she wouldn't, that for him to take her place, that way she wouldn't have to do these horrible things.
But it seemed like his motivation was his revenge against her for the life that he had to live under her foot. That's what it seemed like his motivation was.
But he also said that he was mourning her. He was mourning her. He was mourning the sweet girl that she was. When they
right, but
the Hunger Games thing.
The thing is that Georgiou could have not played a part in any of this whatsoever. Like, she was not. She just happened to fall into this whole situation. Like, he would have carried out this plan without her. She was not in his plan whatsoever. He would, you know what I'm saying? Like, she wasn't a part of his story until she happened into it. It wasn't like he had a plan to thwart Georgiou at all.
Yes, they edited out the bits that would explain everything and make anything make sense. Like,
yeah, like
this is why Hollywood listen to us very carefully. Stop getting non-Trekkies to write our shit.
Right.
Like,
they should have got the Lower Decks people to write it, because I'm pretty sure those people would have slam dunked it.
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, where the hell is what's his name? Aaron, where you at? Like, come yeah. Aaron Walkie, come back, man. Like, seriously, stop getting
if you think about it,
yeah.
I mean, I guess they didn't explain how San, whatever, came to our universe, and then the other dude came to our universe,
and that he faked his death. But the thing is, they keep forgetting the fact this is 2324. It's been 60 years since Georgiou left on the Discovery.
Yes.
How
is that the same?
No one notices that she hasn't aged 60 years.
Well, no,
hasn't
I don't think she was sent back to the very time where she left, because
right.
we had no indication. Right.
No, yeah, we know that. Yeah. But
yeah, we know that.
But how would Section 31 know that she's returned from the future?
From the past?
No, from the future.
From the future, back from the future. Yeah.
Back from the 3100s.
Oh yeah. Because I need to watch Discovery season 2 again, because that's when this happened. Right? It was season 3.
I always thought it was like it's Section 31. They're gonna keep tabs somehow. Like,
I know, but so they find out that Georgiou's back.
Right.
In 2324.
Yes.
And
wait, Georgiou, I don't understand how you say she's from the future, because Discovery was before.
Oh my God, Jason, we've done this before. We've had this same argument before.
Are we? Was I wrong?
Yes. All right. At the end of Discovery season 2, they jumped 900 years into the future. Okay.
Oh.
Then in that season, the Guardian of the the Great Guardian of the Galaxy sent Georgiou back to a time closer to when she left. Okay. And now we know that it was 2324, 60 years after she left.
Okay, so that was season 3 when that happened.
Yes.
Got it. I just asked that for the other people that didn't understand.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. I was I was lagging behind, man. Thank you for the clarification.
You are going, Jason. You're gonna give Keith a heart attack. Please let the man make his point. So we were talking about, yes, we can see. Let's just say Section 31 to what Keith was gonna, or was we were alluding to. Let's say Section 31 does have the technology the Federation doesn't have to track time travel stuff. Let's just say they did. Now what?
Well, no, I can imagine that they keeping their eyes on things. Suddenly, a person shows up that looks like Georgiou.
Yeah.
And she goes by another name, Madame
Defunk. Yeah.
Defunk. Bring in Defunk. And they figured out, oh yeah, this has to be Georgiou. But the thing is, once again, they're like, has she been frozen for 60 years? And there's no.
Right.
But no question of how the fact that it's been 60 years since you. All you needed was a single line. Was it's been 60 years since we last saw you. We had no idea. How,
right. They didn't mention it. I'm like the Guardian. I trust that the Guardian put her in a place where he thought she would work and matter and knew that she would be needed. But the other people in the universe have no clue how she got there and why.
Yeah, considering Starfleet, as it was set up at the end of season 2 of Discovery, basically, destroyed the records, or buried it with a shovel, then buried the shovel. So
how do you bury the shovel, though? What do you bury the shovel with?
Hands. Well, you dig the hole, throw the shovel in, and then.
Gotta wonder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I guess we're rounding out. So Keith F., what is your out of 5 stars?
Oh, good God.
do you give the show, the movie?
2. Because now that I've thought about it, it's not. I don't think it's horrible.
Yeah, it's not horrible. Max would say it's horrible.
Yeah. I will say
right now. He's typing right now.
There's a lot of similarities between it and Nemesis.
But Nemesis was so much better.
Yes.
Like, even though it wasn't a great Star Trek movie, it was still so much better.
See, the bad thing about Nemesis was that you had someone directing the movie that didn't understand Star Trek. And cut all of the personal moments that made Star Trek work before. Like when you look at the deleted scenes from Nemesis, if you left even half of them in, it's a hell of a lot better movie.
I think they should have left some stuff out. Like before, should have been left out. Like the whole ship. What was that song that they were singing? With Picard. Picard was singing in the spaceship.
That was Insurrection.
That was Insurrection. That was a different Insurrection. Yes.
And they sing that song later again, I think, in Strange New Worlds, I think.
Well, it was a different Gilbert and Sullivan.
It was a different Gilbert and Sullivan. Okay.
Yes. But yeah, it's a case of they have an idea, but they don't fully see it through. Nemesis had the same problem. Star Trek V was Final Frontier was just Shatner's ego, and that's why that one's bad.
That one is the worst.
So as far as I'm concerned, the worst Star Trek movie is still Into Darkness.
Okay,
but which is once again they had some good ideas, but they didn't think them freaking through.
It was a bad movie, but it was still more entertaining.
I'll give you that, yeah.
Like I would enjoy watching that again before I would enjoy watching Section 31. Section 31 didn't have anything that I would enjoy looking at again. You know, at least Into Darkness, I did enjoy the cast. I enjoyed all the people. I enjoyed a lot of the things it did with Star Trek, but it just executed.
Not to completely shit on Section 31. Michelle Yeoh was fantastic.
Michelle Yeoh, there was nothing wrong with Michelle Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh was fantastic. Casey Roll was fantastic as Garrett. Sam Richardson did a pretty good job as Quasi. Everyone else, and
I don't think
Curtis was wasted.
I don't think it was an actor problem. I think it was a writing problem.
Oh, of course, it was a writing problem.
Yeah,
we always knew that. Like,
it is definitely a writing problem. But as far as the acting performances, Michelle Yeoh, top shelf. Casey Roll, pretty good. But everyone else, kind of below it.
Just mid.
Even Michelle Yeoh, I didn't like her as much in this one. Like, it was so, like, they were so trying hard for Georgiou to be evil Georgiou and just like saying, oh, boring. And just,
I don't know about evil.
The way
I don't know. Go ahead, Jason. Finish your point.
Well, you know, I mean, she's the evil woman that we love to love, right? We love to hate. We love, she's trying so much to be. I think she's so happy to be in our universe that she doesn't have to actually murder people all the time to be good. I mean, to be thought of as a villain. She wants to be the villain, but she doesn't want to actually have to murder a bunch of people to do it. So I think she's very happy to be in our universe and not in hers. Yeah. Because she wants to be looked at in that way without having to do the deeds. But I think they're just the way they wrote her in this, which is like, I keep using the word trope. It's just like, I don't know. It's not very well done. My vocabulary is very small.
The thing that I'll say is that we don't see the lingering effects of that Michael left on her once she left. Yeah. That
would have been great, to have something pointing to Michael Burnham, because she was
something small.
Michael Burnham is a huge part of her life. Both Terran Michael Burnham and Prime Michael Burnham.
It was a part of her Prime Universe character development. Like,
yes, absolutely. Their relationship is huge, so it would have been nice. That's a good point, Wombo. They could have had something that said something about Michael Burnham.
Yeah. Okay, I got it. All right. Well, we got 30 seconds left, which we already know. I'm gonna go longer than that. So the reason why I gave it 5 out of 5, I don't give it 5 out of
'Cause you're
5. I
crazy.
just shut up. I don't give it 5 out of 5. I don't even give it 10 out of 10. Okay, I don't. I just did that because I want to see Legacy. Okay, like so that's what I did. Now,
yeah, but we want to see Legacy, but we don't want them to think that we are accepting their bullshit.
That's true. That's very
we want
true.
to put we want to have standards. Like, don't just throw us a bunch
your
of
answer
stuff.
Can't be any more than a 3 out of 5. Max, I hate that he knows me so well. So what I was gonna say was, since we're going by fives, and we're going on the star rating, I was actually really about to give it a 3 out of 5, 2.5 max, but yeah, like Max was actually pretty spot on. Like, what do you say, Ness?
I give it a 1.
Want a bad Star Trek Legacy? You're right, we don't, because
I give it a 1.
Well, we know who to put in charge of Star Trek Legacy.
And
Terry Matalas. Terry Matalas. That's it.
Yeah.
Terry Matalas. Let's go. Well, they were going off to the Matalas star system in the very end. Like that's who we want. We do not want, bro. Okay, 3 things. 1, we do not want non-Trekkies to direct or write or produce this. Like, stop, because y'all don't know what you're doing.
Answer me this.
Each time they tried, it was shit.
Answer me this. If they didn't tell you that this was a Star Trek movie, would you know that it was a Star Trek movie?
No.
I would.
Like,
I would. There's too many.
What about it?
Easter eggs. There's way too many Easter eggs. There's way too many. Way too many.
No, if you hadn't.
Are you talking about if you were just like a random viewer?
If you're a random viewer, you would not know this was a Star Trek movie.
Okay, so here's the thing about that, right? I don't. This is gonna sound like bullshit, so I apologize in advance. I don't think you're supposed to, because when I saw the trailer for it, I knew right away this was not gonna target, even though it was written. It was written, quote unquote written. Even though it was written for Trekkies, I don't think it was for Trekkies. I think it was for your average movie watchers. When I saw the trailer, it looked like a modern sci-fi trailer. It did not look like a Star Trek trailer.
It was trying to be Star Trek Suicide Squad.
Right.
And it was just as bad as the Suicide Squad
They used a Beyonce song. Nothing wrong with that. They used a Beyonce song in the trailer. So I'm thinking, oh, we got some modern Trek. We got, so to me, I feel like they were trying to do it again, like they did with the Abrams, very different production group, like they did with the J.J. Abrams films, right? Try to get all the movie watchers and introduce them into Star Trek, right?
Well, you know what, Keith, you're right, because it was Suicide Squad, and it did about as good as Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, because they just had these characters. You have to have the strong character and this character, and it's just like,
Michelle Yeoh, Margot Robbie. Margot Robbie is great in both Suicide Squad movies.
They're both crazy.
But both Suicide Squad movies are bad. Yeah. Well, you're muted. Well, you're muted.
Think about how. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Right. Evan, what did you say about Into Darkness?
I was saying that, what's it called? Into Darkness was how I got introduced into Star Trek.
Okay.
And you know what? Into Darkness is a great movie if you are not a Star Trek fan. Like, if you've never watched Star Trek, the motion picture 2, the Into Darkness is a good movie.
Yeah, if you've never seen Wrath of Khan, then you're fine with Into Darkness.
Cool as hell.
Yeah, it's cool.
Trek, this is cool as shit. Right. So if this is meant to serve the same purpose, I think it'll what's it called? Be genuinely, it's so tropey. And it's so made for general audiences that you could show this to somebody. And what was the rating? PG-13?
I don't know why the hell they made it PG-13.
The rating was PG-13. You could show this to
anyone.
You could show this to a middle school class, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is decent."
There sure as hell wasn't no blood in this one. It was just a very bad, embarrassing sex scene, which I thought was.
Yeah, and they put what's the name, Garrett, in there. For our Star Trek fans to be like, oh, look, that's her. It didn't help us at all. It didn't change the story or anything like that for us. I don't know about that mech dude. We never seen that before either.
Well, that was essentially Borg, but not Borg.
Right. I mean,
as I put it, all the characters were themselves Easter eggs. I mean, you had the mirror universe, you had the Augments Con connections with Alok, you had
Norbit. Yeah, Norbit.
You had you had Quasi being the Chamaloid that we saw in Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country. I mean,
She died.
Well, I know. Same species, different person. Yes.
Right. I mean, we didn't get to learn much about her. What are you doing?
Her
bro?
movie.
True, but I mean that goes, like Game of Thrones. It goes to show that anybody actually should be able to be killed in a movie. So that's fine, I guess.
But yeah, we had a Delton for a few minutes, and it was just once again an Easter egg to Aaliyah from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. And then the mannequin with the nanites and various things. That's like the most original one, and it was still kind of.
And what was his goal and motivation, like as being the mole? Like they had already crashed.
No, he wanted the thing to be set off so that his 190,000 hatchlings had plenty of room to stretch out. They're nanites,
So
why did it need that much?
They didn't even know. They didn't even know what the bomb was. Nobody knew what the package was. They just knew it was a weapon.
But I thought the whole
right. So we're entering this story as if everybody knows what's happening. Nobody knows what's happening until Georgiou explains to them what this weapon is. So his motivation just seems kind of just odd.
Oh, no, he knew because San knew, and he was working for San.
Oh yeah, he was working for San. You're right. Okay.
Unmute me. Okay.
But they never even remember they had to fix it.
Jason, let Evan talk, please.
What?
The nanite guy, right?
Yeah.
I thought that his whole motivation for was like that whole diatribe about like, oh, these are the microscopians, whatever the fuck he was. He was like, we were on this earth, we were on this place long before y'all were here, and y'all humans came in here, y'all found us, and y'all ruined everything. And so it was more like because he was like, we ruled this place long before you people found us, and we will rule it long after. He was tired of the humans, and he thought that the humans were like a plague that needed to be cleansed.
That sounds about right. Well, now you're just cribbing from the Matrix there.
Right. It's the smell.
Yeah.
There is such a thing. I don't know. It's just
a lot of just half-baked ideas that just were not thought through.
And he goes and names up all his kids: Vic, Rick, Phil, Pneumonia. Like he named his kids.
Trip 2.
Yeah,
he does not like Trip 2. He hates Trip 2.
Like what the hell?
Trip 2 is gonna come out and he's gonna hate him.
Yep.
Why did they make his wife so southern?
That was just weird. Like you gotta get like he was like borderline Scottish, and she's borderline Georgian.
I mean,
right?
They could have like answered like the different accents throughout Star Trek. They could have like used that moment to like answer it, be like, oh, it's just how I heard English, so this is the type of dialect that I use in my programming. Like I don't know, something like that. Like I don't know.
What was that the changeling guy, the chameleon guy? What?
Right. What was he?
Reference to? What is he a reference to?
No, that was we had Marta in Star Trek VI: The Undiscovered Country, played by Iman. She was a Camaloid. She was able to help sneak Kirk and McCoy out of the Klingon prison planet.
Oh,
yeah.
This is the same species.
Yep. On 10.
They were talking. Him and Max were talking about. I think a different species, and they were like, no, but they're all liquidies. But
no, this isn't the changelings. This isn't the founders.
So this is a shapeshifter versus a changeling. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense.
That was all the questions I had.
Okay.
That was all the questions I had.
Of course they
all right.
black.
We're way over an hour, so we're long. We're going long.
All right. Well, I gotta walk my dog then.
Yeah. We'll be back next week and do news and other things.
News and other things, and anyone who wants to catch up after this roast session, which I 100% fall behind. I am not in denial as to how bad this movie is. I'm not in denial of that.
1 star. I give it
3.
I think it's
you give it 3 stars.
It's a mid movie. It's it's in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What did Max say? Like,
I like.
says he's coming
I
up.
like Star Trek 5 better than this.
Well, okay. Before I press it, Star Trek 5 kind of became a cult classic.
Yeah.
For Trekkies.
It's got one of the best lines in all of Star Trek. What does God need with a starship?
Right. That is a pretty good line.
Yes.
That's a great line.
That's a great line. Like, what does God need with a starship? I feel like that's a genuine question.
Pretty good question.
Yeah. And it's a damn good line. And the way he gives it is perfect. What does God need with a starship?
Price line.
I'm gonna write a very long letter to Paramount and be like, "This is all the things she could have done. This is all the things she could have done.
Give us legacy so we can
give us
legacy,
but not by the people who were behind this. Okay, please."
I have a problem also with even 7 of 9 because she's no remnants of the old 7 of 9 whatsoever. I would like to see more of who she was in the character that she is.
20 years, and
it's been 20
she's
years.
been through some shit.
Hey, I'm still the same dumbass I was 20 years ago.
I'm glad you admit that. But
I am not the same dumbass I was 20 years ago.
Same here.
Although I don't watch The Simpsons anymore, so
I don't either. Well, no, that's I keep on seeing the thing around. Like, if you knew me in high school, no, that was version 1.0 of me. I'm a whole different person now, and I am a different person than I was in high school, a different person I was in college.
all of your molecules have been changed by now.
Every 7 years you go through a complete molecular change. So yeah. Okay. Remember to like or share. Leave your comments below of what you thought about this movie. Of course, everyone else has been talking about it, but we want to hear from you. And of course, we'll be back to talk more Star Trek next week. Thank you all for watching. For Truckers Delight, I'm Keith Shovlin. He's Will Wofford. He's Evan. And he's Jason McCannon. Live long and prosper.
Peace.
Wait, Jason, on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you being right now? I gotta know.
I'm serious, dude. You got
like 10 out of 10 serious, or picking on Michael serious? Which one?
There is no temperature in space. It's not cold.
What are you serious?
Okay, wait.
Who is? Oh dear God! It just got
because you
better.
said his name.
Welcome to the party, Michael.
No, that is not how we're going to end the episode because Keith actually has like a legitimate news update. He knows shit, and we should possibly like convey that knowledge.
That's my favorite line. He knows shit.
It's just like a black and red mound. It's like,
why are you describing yourself?
What the hell?
Hello from
Hey, Virgil.
Hey,
Virgil.
welcome.
Hello, Virgil. Welcome. Who are you?
Who?